Welcome to the Seriously podcast. I'm your host, Annaliese Gann. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the Seriously podcast, where we make light of serious conversations with really interesting people. And this week things are a little bit different because I've heard on the grapevine that some people have some questions about me and my life at the moment. So I've got in my good friend Betsy to put me in the hot seat and to ask me some questions this week.
Yes, Annaliese. So today you're no longer in control.
Oh,
It's not my podcast, but I'm taking the reins. Shall we get started?
let's do it.
I'm going to ask you about your earliest memory of betrayal as a child. And that can be in any kind of form. It can be like a friendship betrayal, a family betrayal, something that happened at school.
In terms of my childhood, it was great. But I guess like when you bring up like betrayal with family, that's an interesting point. It makes me think because like I had a great childhood. I grew up with Catholic parents. But as a result of my parents being Catholic, they always had a lot of empathy. And they always wanted to look after people. That's like a Catholic thing.
Yep. Giving to people who take.
Yes, but in a way as well, they would always, like, we'd always have people living with us who would otherwise be homeless.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're very empathetic and, like, they always are trying to look out for the person who's struggling. So, like,
Tell me more.
Yeah, so I grew up around, like, drug addicts, alcoholics, like, a lot of trauma. Like, people would never know this, but, like,
wow.
I grew up witnessing everything.
Oh, at like a young age.
Oh, yeah, my whole childhood. And it wasn't direct family. It was, like, extended family and friends for men who would otherwise be on the street. Yeah, so, like, they were so empathetic and, like, that's where I get my caring nature from. Like, I always want to help someone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when you see addiction on that level, that close up, you do see that, like, yeah, betrayal. Like, people can fuck up. And that's why I'm really non-judgmental because I'm like, anyone can become an addict. Anyone can
Exactly.
end up there.
Exactly. And childhood, it's very interesting when you talk about people's childhoods. There's some people who have gone on and I love when they sit down in an interview and they're like, my childhood was good, my childhood was good. They're really like, it wasn't my parents, it was me, I did it. And I'm like, that's cool. But sometimes it was the childhood or it's the environment that shapes us. And it's not blaming our parents, but it's just kind of how it happened.
Exactly. And I don't blame them for anything.
No.
Like, they did the best job that they could with the tools that they had. But, you know, growing up around that, I wasn't sheltered. I learnt a lot. I saw a lot at a young age, you know, and with addiction comes, like, you see violence and you see people withdrawing and you see people, you know, mood swings from heavy drugs. Like, you see everything. So I grew up seeing, like, we're all the same.
Yeah.
Because anyone can fall into this trap.
Exactly.
So I'm not like, I don't judge anyone and I just want everyone to be happy.
I feel like I'm going to love you so much more after this.
Oh, stop.
I already love you so much now, but I feel like I'm going to be like, oh,
Ditto, babe. Ditto.
Oh. The next thing is, when did you realise, like, I don't want people watching this to be like, oh, bit full of yourself, but when did you realise actually I am beautiful and I can be a model? Like when did you, because I know that maybe, I don't know, I need to ask you, you need to tell us, was that your choice to do modelling? Did other people put you into that? Like when was it like, wow, I can do this as a job? Like when did that happen?
Great question. No one's ever asked me that.
Oh.
So I always grew up in my family. No one ever would point out the way I look because, no offence, everyone in my family is hot.
Yeah.
I'm probably like a 5. Like, everyone should be a model in my family. You know when you come from a good-looking family?
I have a good-looking family.
And you're just like, we're just all in the same tier.
Your kids are going to be so cute too.
Hopefully. But I just never grew up with that thought because it was just, it didn't even cross my mind. And like, for people in my family, it wasn't important. I'm from the country. I grew up on a farm. So like, what was important to them was working hard and athletics. Like, if you weren't sporty,
You were no one.
Pretty much. Like Australian, you know, how it was growing up back then.
Same. I was very good at sports.
Yes, you were.
Yes.
So I just feel like it was never a thing. I remember going to high school, and this moment kind of stands out. I was year 8, and it was like the first week of year 8 when you do like your orientation week and everything like that. And I became best friends with this girl, and her sister from the year above came up to us and was like, Annaliese, you're famous at the high school. Like, everyone's talking about you. And I was like, why? I don't know. I just like, as you said last week, like I'm very aloof. I don't take in people's
energy.
I just don't understand it, like social cues and stuff. So I was like, why? And they're like, because you're hot. And I was like, am I? Like it
striking. You're striking.
See, I don't
like
I don't see it.
Literally cause a presence. Like when I met you at the bottom, sorry to cut you off here.
I love it. Go for it.
But when I first met you at the Kind Hearted Ball, wow. It was like me and my friend Jackie were like filming content as you do. And you already knew I was coming. And like I knew of you, and I think I'd seen you at Barbie. But I like, you know everyone. I mean, you don't want to push yourself onto people. You don't want to be like thirsty. We know those people, the thirsty ones. Like, hey, have a selfie with me. Don't even know you. That's not my, I like to
not
get
your
to
jam.
know. No, and I don't want people to be like, ugh, she's trying to like get clout from me because I was on a show or whatever. I don't want people to think that. I'm drawn to people. So I was like, wow, you are a gorgeous human. But I haven't had that intro with you yet. So I saw you at Barbie and I was like, oh, that's hot. And you've got good energy. But it was like that ball and that dress. You wore this beautiful red dress and you're just like this picture of like perfection. You just walk in and you're like, but it's also like your presence. You're not full of yourself. You're not like, I'm Annaliese Gann. It's like, hi, babe, Betsy. I'm sitting next to you. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, my God. And then, like, slowly getting to know you. And straight away, I knew. I was like, your brain is my brain. You're one of us.
We connected.
You're one of us.
Yes.
And I can sense it straight away with people. And I remember when I didn't know what it was. And I was like, whoa, what's this person? And I was like, oh, yeah. I know exactly. And that was like, yes, you get it. You get all of it.
Yes.
We feel everything. We see everything. And I just was like, wow, you are stunning.
Thank you.
But what we've got to understand is like my stunning might not be someone else's stunning.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you know, you might, someone else be like, oh yeah, she's okay, whatever. But I'm like, it's the whole person.
Yes.
It's the whole person. So when did you realize actually I am going to be quite successful? Well, actually, not even that. When was it like, I want that? I want to be on shows. I want to have a podcast. I want to be famous. I'm somebody. The world needs to see me. Like, when was that moment when you're like, I'm going for this?
I remember that moment. I would have been like 19.
Yeah.
So I left school, got a good ATAR, went for a year away overseas, and I came back, and I'm still the same. I've always been the same body type, like a size 12. And I was like, you know what?
Queen.
I think I could, because in high school I did modelling. Like my parents, they weren't really keen for me to do it.
No. Oh, I'm glad they let you because it could have gone like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, they wanted me to be an athlete. And I'm like, I'm not wired that way. I tried, but I wasn't that good. But yeah, with modelling, I just succeeded really quickly. And then like I got back to Australia when I was 19 and I was like, okay, I'm going to try this. And I moved to Sydney with a suitcase and just like gave it a shot.
You're like, this is happening.
And then when you choose something that chooses you back, like we've talked about, it just all snowballed. Like it's just been great ever since. And like, I'm very grateful for everything I've been afforded. Like I don't take it for granted.
No.
But also I don't try that hard because it chooses me back.
Girl, you don't need to. I'm like, if I look like you, I wouldn't have to try that hard either.
No, but I mean
I know what you mean.
Like,
you don't.
When it's for you, it comes to you. Yeah.
It comes to you.
Ditto.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You need to drink some more wine.
Oh, okay.
Kylie, hang
love
on
it.
a minute. So Kylie, I'm like,
Kylie, this wine's great, babe.
it is, girl.
Ooh.
I love Kylie.
I'm a big fan.
We're just going to wait for you to drink a little bit more, Kylie.
How much do I have to drink?
Well, that whole thing. I don't know if you've ever watched. Have you watched The Jenners?
Yeah.
So Kylie and Kendall, when they like do little things like podcasts and stuff, they like do shots and they are so funny, man.
Yeah, they're the best.
Oh my God, they're so funny. And like, yeah, I don't buy into the whole celebrity thing, but when they drink and stuff, it is hilarious. And they're like, girl, drink. So
Okay, I've had a bit more.
Drink. So I'm going to ask you, so my childhood was very much traveling. So you said a little bit, so with your modelling, I'm assuming you got to do some travel. Tell me some highlights of like your traveling and like, you know, opportunities that you got traveling that we might not know about, because I'm interested.
Okay, so yeah, when I was like 19 to 24, lived on the East Coast, lived in Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane.
Fabulous.
I used to fly weekly, like to go and do runways, to do a shoot.
Fantastic.
I worked on TVSN, like on Foxtel for like a year on contract.
So what did you do? So when you say that, because I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what did you do on Foxtel? Like, what were you doing, darling?
So it's like the shopping network.
Oh.
And you walk on the runway and people buy the clothes that you wear.
Oh, because you look hot as, and they're like, I need that shit.
No, but I nearly got like fired from that job.
Why?
Oh my God. Because
You were too hot?
No, I'm a bit unco. Like I'm a bit like a giraffe in heels.
The walking.
And she's like, Annaliese, you said... The talent manager pulled me up and was like, Annaliese, this, by the way, guys, everyone thinks modelling is so easy. It's very not. Like, it's actually, you have to be so coordinated.
But you also have to be so, like hard. Like, you need to take criticism.
You need to be a bad bitch because...
You need to not cry.
No, and so much rejection.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even think, when my agent puts me forward for a job now, I'm like, I don't even care. Like...
Yeah.
Yeah, the ones
like, they will, they won't, whatever.
Yeah, you know the industry.
Yeah, I did a little bit, dabbled.
Of course
dabbled
you did.
You
sexy bitch.
25 years or so ago, was young and hot. Do you know how I could be your mother nearly?
I don't even know how old you are.
42.
You could not be my mother, babe.
I could if I'd like had you as like a teenager. I forget, like 28 was just like 100 years ago. That was
really?
That was one of my best years. Yeah, it was.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, 28 was a good year. I feel like,
Hopefully it goes up from here.
Well, are you ready to talk about something that might be painful?
Yeah.
Okay. And
I'm
even though
Let me
I'm
just
in,
sip this.
I don't. Let's have a drink. Hang on, let's have a cheers. Oh, hang on, come here.
Empty.
Kylie will look after you.
Thank you, Kylie, my
Ooh.
darling.
Oops.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I just hit the. Sorry, sound guy.
I'm already laughing.
Composure.
Thank you.
Okay. This is my bad side as well, so I'm trying to like show off more.
Is that why you're going that way? Babe, we should have swapped seats.
If that was an option. Are you getting a bit hot too?
No, I'm good.
Oh, I'm so hot in my coat. I'm going to be flustered.
You look sexy though.
Oh, thank you.
It's okay. Okay, we cheers one more time.
Focus. Hang on. Oh, whoops.
Betsy's getting lit, guys.
I'm actually not.
You went to be the interviewer and you're getting lit.
You're making me laugh. Hang on. This is going to make for very good content. I'm actually hot. But
Jesus Christ, guys.
Is that like...
She's opted out.
I don't drink though. I'm the designated.
Neither do I.
How many times have I rescued you?
All right, let's not go into that. That's a whole other podcast.
This coat is very hot.
Okay, babe, take it off.
Anyway, so we're dressed like mob wives and we're drinking because Betsy was leveling it up. Okay, so this is nothing to do with Annaliese. So haters, be hating on the Betsy if you don't like this. But this is how I roll. We're glamour, glitz, glamour, fur, mob wife, champagne. Well, not champagne, Prosecco, but whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so now we're going to get serious. Take a deep breath. I've been through some pain in my life. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about my pain. We're talking about your pain. So I'm just going to say what we all already know. You were engaged this year. Mm-hmm. Now, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Like, the engagement party was planned for a long time.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was an amazing night. Like, everyone was there.
Your family and everyone.
Yeah. All my besties, bar, like, a few people couldn't come.
Yeah. Like me, I couldn't come. The energy didn't let me.
I know. I'm sorry about that.
Well, it was the children that were sick, but yeah.
Yeah. And I just feel like the night was good. Mm-hmm. In terms of how I was feeling, I was on the fence because we got engaged in December in New Zealand.
Yeah, so can you let's go back a bit because you had a little bit of a fairy tale engagement. Like, talk about the lead up to that. Like, you know, you had the holiday. Like, it was pretty. Like, let's do that. Let's celebrate the engagement. Do you want to talk about that, the nice part of it, or would
Yeah,
you?
we can.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me a bit sad.
Okay. Do you want to do that? Because
Not
revisiting.
really.
Okay, let's not do that. Then.
Yeah,
Like,
it makes me sad.
okay, we won't talk about that.
Like, I can talk about the day we got engaged.
Yep.
Like, you know, it was beautiful. We caught like a water taxi to this castle in New Zealand.
Oh,
And
fairy tales.
yeah, it was this amazing castle. And there was roses everywhere. And he proposed.
So he planned all of this beforehand? Like, he had a
Yes.
ring and everything, hey?
Yeah, so we designed the ring together.
Oh, my God.
And
So you knew this was happening?
yeah, I didn't know when.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it was like, we're doing this.
Oh, yeah.
This is the ring I want.
For like a good year.
Oh, fantastic.
For a good year, we were
so
like
how long
that.
were you guys together?
3 years.
Yeah, which is a lifetime.
Yeah.
When you're like really in love and it's like going really well, and then, but when you're still young, you know.
Yeah, so yeah, together 3 years, and then like in the last year we were like, yep, we're getting married, blah blah blah, have a kid. But then, you know, we got engaged. So we got engaged at the castle. It was one of the best days of my life.
Oh.
Like, it was very romantic.
Yeah.
But I guess when we got back to Perth, I just felt like, you talk about energy, I felt like the energy was off.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just felt like he's such a great person, I'm a great person, but we were just really incompatible, like in so many ways.
Yeah.
And I guess like when you're both in your 20s and you're both working really hard, you don't prioritize each other. He worked a lot and I work a lot too. And we were just like incompatible. I don't even know how to describe it, but like our lifestyles, the way we communicate, like everything. And I think I wanted to get engaged because I was like, maybe this will make it better.
Yeah.
And it just like solidified the issues that we had. And he's an amazing guy. He's changed my life forever. Like, I'm so grateful for him.
Exactly.
Like,
well, look,
he changed
like
my
the
life.
podcast stuff. Like,
yeah, he's the
doing all
producer. Like,
yeah.
we're still, this is the thing, like, we're still friends. Like, I have this unconditional love for him, and because we share the dogs.
Yeah, we have the dog babies.
Custody, like, we're very civil.
Yeah.
There's no animosity, no hate. But the arguing and the bickering, I got sick of. Like, I don't want to argue with my partner every day.
No.
And there's healthy bickering in a marriage or a relationship, and then there's like toxic.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it was just like, this is toxic now. Like, so yeah, we had the engagement party in March, and then a week later it was done. I moved into my house.
It's crazy.
So it was really sad. It was the hardest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
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 So it's been a really hard 3 months.
So we've gone to relationship. I want to talk about friendships. So you went on a show.
Yes.
And I want to talk about like how friendships. So actually, can you tell me the show that you went on?
Oh, $1 Million Island and First Dates I've done too.
Oh, first
Yeah.
dates. I didn't know about first
I was
dates.
young. I was 19.
Oh,
I was a baby.
Hang on a minute. Tell me about first dates. So what channel? Where can we watch
Do
this?
we have to? Okay.
Like, how was the dates?
Okay. Channel 7.
Yeah, I can maybe drink a bit more.
Okay. Fuck.
Mm.
I'm a
So
lightweight.
Channel 7's Perth, isn't it? They like Perth. Do we do one more? Do we have 3?
Yeah,
Or is
sure.
Yeah, 3. Okay.
Fuck it.
3's the limit.
We're
3's
having
the
coffee at the same time.
Limit. We are. But also, we're going to have to drink a lot of water and we're not driving anywhere for a little bit after.
Absolutely not.
Day drinking is just not what it's all
I've got my
about.
nail appointment in like 3 hours. Okay.
So hang on a minute. I thought it was only one show. 2
No,
shows.
but First Dates is, I mean, it was nearly 10 years ago. So
yeah, but still.
it was fun. Like, I was in Sydney. I was living my best life. I
Yeah.
was 19. Yeah, the date didn't go well. You can go watch it if you want. They keep playing it.
Yeah,
They still play it.
I will put that in my thing.
But MDI was like a better show.
Yeah, you could have won all that money.
I know, but I didn't know. Maybe
So-
I did though.
So mining mumsy, that's
Yes.
the only kind of other person that I know, and she's lovely. And because I worked in mining for like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I get the mining mumsy. But on that show, were you prepared for how you needed to behave? Do you like, because me and you have quite a good sense of like human interaction.
Yes.
But I feel like we're not very good at, like, I don't want to say manipulating people, but do you know what I mean?
Yes, strategy.
We read the room, but I could never go on something like Survivor because I can't be that doll.
Malicious, yeah.
No. And I would be so cut when they're like behind my back, like, you know, talking about me or whatever. Like, I feel like reality shows, they would take because I've worked, like I studied film and television production, and like I understand it. They take the 1% of your character that is like gonna be exciting for the viewer, and run with it. And I'm like, I cannot allow, like, I don't know what character they would portray me as, and I have no control over it. And you understand this, so like going on a reality show is huge. When you realize that you're not in control.
Oh, for sure.
Of your character. And the way you're portrayed. So how did you deal with the human interaction?
Yes. So I was just myself the whole time.
You weren't playing the game.
I don't play games in general, in relationships, in friendships. You know me, I'm very black and white.
And then people can't handle that because we're like, we say what we see.
Yes. And MDI was no different because people were like, oh, Annaliese is just like chill and like she doesn't, I don't know.
She's not playing the game.
She either likes me or she hates me. And like I'd make it fucking known. Like I was like, you are pissing me off. I actually got in a screaming match with a few people.
Wow.
That wasn't aired, thank God.
I was going to say I didn't see any of this on.
No, because they were really rude to me and I was like, say that one more time.
So the producers, so hang on, how did you leave? Like
I got, what's it called?
Booted off?
Yeah.
Stop it, did you?
Yeah. I got eliminated in a challenge. Yeah. So I got put up for a challenge.
Booted off.
I got eliminated and then I left.
Do you know why? Because you're a threat.
Yeah, but the thing is, babe, you know how I'm introverted?
Yeah.
I was like, surely they're not going to pick up that I'm even here.
Nah.
Like, dude, I'm very quiet.
Look at you. Oh, they're not going to see this big, gorgeous woman with these curves and this hair. Oh, no, no one's going to see me.
Again, I'm aloof as fuck. So I was like, oh, I didn't even realize they knew I was here because they're like, Annaliese, you're up. And I was like, what do you mean? There's like 50 other people here. Like, why are you choosing me?
Mate, because you are a threat.
I don't know about that, but I lost the challenge, so obviously not, babe. But yeah, it was a great show. It was fun.
Did you win any money?
No, won nothing. Came home with zero.
Do you get paid while you're on these shows?
Mm-hmm.
You do, but it's not.
Yeah.
Is it good?
We pretty much got like a free trip to Malaysia, put up in a hotel.
So what an experience.
I did it for the experience. I didn't do it for fame. You wouldn't get famous from that show. No. It was like a cool camping. I've never been camping, so I was like, cool
camping. So how real is it? Like, were you actually
sleeping outside? Oh my God, babe.
You were actually sleeping outside?
Babe, they got the boats to the water and were like, to the island. They're like, jump off, take your bag, fuck off, go build a tent out of leaves. Yeah, we got nothing.
Oh, and was all your clothes wet in the suitcase? That was my thing. Like, did you have your suitcase on your head?
No, mine got
wet.
Yeah, there's a video.
I'm sorry, I've got to swear. Fuck that.
It was fucked. Yeah, but anyway, you got used to the trauma.
Oh no.
Anyway, it was fun, but wouldn't do it again.
No. So I'm going to ask you something else that I don't know if you're going to want to talk about.
Let's do it.
So we were talking about, so as you know, I am on my journey, my ADHD journey. I have one child who is autistic.
Yes.
I have another child who is ADHD and possibly is autistic as well. I definitely know that in my family, there's family members who are obviously high function, gifted.
Yes.
Now, you and I, we use the term neurodiverse.
Yes.
Because we're not neurotypical. But kind of when did you realise that you were actually, like, I love being different, but I stupidly never had a clue until, like, I have this extremely ADHD child and then Sunny autistic, and then I'm like, oh my God, it's you. I'm the problem. It's like, do you know what I mean? I was like, oh, this hasn't just come from nowhere. I can blame the
Genetic.
fathers, but it's
Just blame them. Shift the blame.
well, both of the fathers are definitely, but I'm kind of like
Yeah.
on the opposite ends.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, I remember the realization, and like, so I'm on my ADHD diagnosis journey.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen one psychiatrist, and he was like, yeah, but you just seem so like, you're doing, I'm like, dude, I am struggling. I'm like, I'm doing all right. I feel like if I didn't have children, I'd be killing it. But I see my dopamine patterns. So when you have ADHD, you're driven by dopamine. So you're driven by, there's like something that makes you keep doing. And like some people it's shopping, some people it's like drugs and sex, or like, well, it's like business or whatever it is. Mine was travel, and I understand it now. And I'm like, I have these patterns.
Yes.
And I realize now. But like, so when did you realize actually I think I'm neurodiverse? Like, when was that like realization, and like your like possibly in your family? And I hate that it's so taboo because they don't want the labels. Do you know what I mean?
Well, in my family, it's not taboo because I've always grown up knowing everyone. Like, when there's addiction in your family, a high possibility that they have ADHD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, so I have someone in our family who has like not. It's more cigarettes and like it's not the worst addiction, but
still it's an addiction.
And
addictive
like
personality,
fully addicted. And it was like my dad couldn't understand it, and my dad is that personality, and the other child, and he was like, you can do anything in the world, but don't smoke cigarettes. And what do?
Yeah.
And then they're fully addicted.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. And I think, like, I grew up around that, as I said before, like around addiction. So alcohol. Yeah. So I just know that, people who are neurodiverse go to those things to calm their brain down. My brother is diagnosed ADHD. My sister's diagnosed ADHD.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So they've just been diagnosed and they're taking meds, and they're like on a really good path.
And they're living their best lives now.
Yeah.
Because do you know what I hate? People hate the label. You need the label to know how you need your life to be.
Yeah.
The label helps.
Oh, it helps.
Like, if I could just say, if there's someone listening right now and you think your child is, please help them.
Yeah, just help them.
Just help them.
If we had this conversation like 20 years ago, their life would probably be different.
So different.
Yeah. So, I mean, I grew up around that. So, I'm fully aware that I could be like either autistic, like high functioning, because we've talked about this, like as a kid, I was very gifted.
Yeah. You still are, darling.
I mean, like academically.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I played instruments. I was like a singer. I read music.
You also feel people's energy. You have gifts. We have gifts. We have gifts.
Yes. So there is a very high possibility. It doesn't impact my life negatively. So I don't see a point in getting diagnosed.
No, exactly.
So I'm happy just thinking I'm neurodiverse, like my brain's different. I'm very sensitive to noise. Like if someone's in the other room playing TV, it will be like 10 times louder for me.
Yeah.
So I have to get them to turn it down. That's pretty much it. And I don't understand social cues.
So you say that, and like I see you as like the deer in the headlights. Like I see your little eyes darting around, and it's funny because I'm 100% ADHD. I'm just waiting for that diagnosis, and I'm doing all right, but I need the meds. Like I need the meds because
it would help you.
Exactly. But I read everything about people, and your eyes, the way your eyes like dart around, and it's like I feel your nervous energy. And I remember when I first met you, I'm like, But
also I hate eye contact.
Exactly.
I can't do it.
Exactly. And
it really
it's like
stresses me out.
But also you stare into people's souls.
I don't mean to do that.
I know, but it's because I can't explain it. And like, so that is very confronting for people who don't understand. So neurotypical people who don't have our gift, not the spices, they don't get it. And they're like, that girl just like, she just looked into my soul.
Because I think when you're neurodiverse, you don't like eye contact. So I'm trying to like mask and be like, hi. But then
then
it's too much.
yeah, and
so I'm like, do I look over here? Do I look at
but
you? Like,
also you can tell when people are lying and when they're being untruthful.
oh, for sure.
And
I fucking hate liars.
the constant eye contact for someone who's being untruthful is just death.
Right. Yeah.
So they're like, fuck.
See, I just hate liars.
Mm.
And I can't lie. That's why I've never done acting.
No.
I can't pretend to be someone else.
Oh, I'm like,
Everyone's like, be an actress. And I'm like, I fucking can't.
I can play a character, but I don't.
See, I can't.
See, I can play
at
a
all.
character, but I'm not very good at remembering the lines. And I also like, Alexander. So Alexander Acosta, I have
Yes.
no
Love him.
romantic chemistry connection. And like we had to do this thing where we're pretending to be like girlfriend and boyfriend or whatever. And I found it really weird because I have such a high respect for him and I don't have that feeling that it was hard. Whereas when because I've done a lot of like adverts and stuff, and like there was, oh my God, there was one, and I did an advert for the Crown, and like I didn't realize. So I rock up to like, mind you, the Crown pays so well. Like if you're in like modeling or like you want to work with the Crown, they pay so well, and they pay you every year. They use like your face.
Can they hit me up?
Oh, girl, you'd be perfect. Like, honestly, Crown, if you're listening, I'd love to come back. But anyway, so the people who, what am I trying to say? The people who get the actors, it's a word.
Talent agent.
Talent agent. So how do they know the chemistry is going to be good? I don't fucking know. But
Did you rock up and you were like in love with him?
God, he was just gorgeous. And it was like, you don't need to act because you're like, oh, let's just go to a room and Crown.
That's happened to me as well.
Yes.
At shoots. And I'm like, how did they get it
How do
right?
they know?
I love a man.
Oh, I don't know how they know, but they knew. And it was just like, it's not
hot.
acting because you're like, oh, let's just, like, they're not even telling us to kiss, but let's just kiss. Do you know what I mean? But like, I can do that when the chemistry's there.
When it's not, you can't act. Same.
Absolutely not.
I can't pretend anything.
No.
I'm like socially fucked.
I'm so blunt. I'm like,
Same.
So Annaliese, I know, and like you and I will have this same thing.
Yes.
There will be people who meet us, they instantly don't like us. They instantly, and I'm okay with. Are you okay with that?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Cheers
mean,
to that.
a lot of people.
They're not going to like us.
The thing is, I like me, and like that's the main thing.
Yes. We're not going to be everyone's cup of tea.
I'm like so happy that I'm like, no, I don't mind.
Oh, that's so good.
And this industry, like, you have to care if people like you because it pays.
Yeah.
It pays money for you to be of influence. But I'm just like, I'm happy. I'm so happy in my own world.
With your dog babies.
With my dachshunds.
So I'm going to talk now about the next chapter in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your podcast.
Yes.
Which we're on. You're also, I love when you talk to me, like we message on Instagram or whatever, and you're like, my business. And my brain was like, business?
What is your business?
What is your business? And you're like, my influencer. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, we all do that.
Subcontractor.
Yeah, but because you've got a manager. A manager. And I was like, what do you mean business? I was like, she got like clothing line? Like, what's going on? But in all seriousness, I know there'll be something in here that you haven't done yet. But like, so I want to write a book. Like, I want to write a book about my life.
Yep.
Like mini stories, like not to be full of myself. I have some amazing stories. Mm-hmm. And I know I do because when I tell them to people, they're like, whoa. Like, and I'm old and I've done some shit. And the ADHD, literally, the shit that I've done, like if I didn't have ADHD, I wouldn't have done half the stuff. And it's just like some of the shit you're like, no way. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, wild. Yeah. But I know that you are such a driven person. Mm-hmm. Like, I know like what you're doing now, but you have like, what does the future hold for you? Like, what do you want to do? Like, what are you aspiring to? Like, what do you want, man? Like, what does Annaliese want in the world?
So I just built my first house on my own.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is such a huge thing.
It is a big thing, yes.
Seriously, I'm so proud.
Thank you.
You're 28. You're 28, dude.
Yes.
28. We're living in a housing crisis.
Everyone's like, don't do it with interest rates. And like, I'm just proud of myself.
So we need to cheers.
Yeah.
Kylie's impressed.
Thank you, Kylie. I just, did it on my own, didn't have any help. I'm very proud of myself for that. That was a big feat. In terms of career, I work in oil and gas and mining and marketing. Yeah, so
you're ticking all the boxes.
I have a big career.
Yeah,
Okay,
you do.
It's a big job. So, and then I'm an influencer and model. So I kind of divvy it up.
And a personality of Perth.
And a
Don't forget that.
personality.
A personality. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. Hashtag Zach Hazelby. But, next for me, I'd love to do Miss World again.
Oh.
I've been asked to do it again this year.
Now, hang on a minute. Let's just stop.
Pageants.
So I know uni. So you know uni.
Eunice.
Eunice.
Yes.
I call her Uni. I don't really know her that well to call her Uni. I know she's been on the podcast.
Yes.
Love Uni.
She's amazing.
She was on just Miss World.
Miss Universe.
Miss Universe.
Yes.
Love her. Oh my
Yes.
God, I love everything about her.
She's
Fantastic.
amazing.
The dancing. Now, what kind of age? Is there an age limit? Like, do you need?
They just changed it.
Do you need to hustle and do this soon?
Yes.
Okay.
So 28 now.
Yep.
They changed it to 30
Oh.
because it used to be 28.
So we've got 2 years to make this happen.
Yeah, and I want to do it because I like doing charity work. It's charitable, Catholic again. I like giving back.
Yeah.
So I want to do that, raise money for variety, kids with illness.
So Miss Universe.
Miss World.
Miss World. Okay, so Miss Universe and Miss World,
It's
they're
different.
two different.
Miss Universe, I would be open to doing, but I haven't thought about it. Miss World is more my thing.
I feel like just smash them all, girl. Smash
do
them all.
all
Just
of
do
them.
Miss World, then do Miss Universe.
It's hard being plus size, but I want to be the first.
Mid-size queen.
Mid-size queen.
Mid-size
Imagine if we
queen.
had a mid-size Miss Universe.
Oh, girl, you are
Let's just
all
do
kinds
it.
of gorgeous.
So that's my goal. I want to be in another pageant. I want to just keep building properties, like sell this house and keep going.
So I have this friend who, so when we grew up, so we both left school at 15 and we both got jobs and we made shitloads of money at like 16, 17, 18. By 18, we had $10,000 in the bank each. Like that was a lot of money, like nearly 30 years ago.
Back then, yeah.
Yeah. And so she bought a property and she was like, Betsy, buy this property with me. And I didn't. I am a fool. If I could go back in time, I would have bought land, built, sold, kept going. Like what you are doing now.
That's my goal.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I would love like the long term to be in property development.
Empire, build that
yeah,
empire.
because I have my real estate license. Like I love the building process. So that is my end goal. But at the moment, looking after the dash hounds, keep striving in my career and just I'm happy single on my own, not dating.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. I love you.
It's honestly like the ADHD drove me for that love. Like when you, so you want that like love, that like, and if like right now, I'm so content with like a family and a partner who's good to me. I don't need that like extreme love chase.
Yeah.
That, if I'm honest, ruined a lot of my life. I don't say ruined, like I had a great life,
but it brought out negative bouts of it.
Dude, I could be so successful, but you're always chasing someone else's approval, someone else's love, and you're not following your own life.
But you are successful. You need to look at that and be like, yes, I've done really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, financially, like bank, like I could have been like millionaire, like straight up.
You will be. You've still got time.
I know. I've still got time. I need to get that YouTube channel cranking with Winter.
Oh, for sure.
That child, I tell ya, I am so proud of him. Mm-hmm. Sunny Bunny is super cute, but Winter, he is going places, that kid. And he's got the expensive taste. You know, he wants Lamborghinis. He likes staying at the Crown. He likes staying at the Ritz. You know, he's got
Where
that
did he
lifestyle.
get that from, I wonder?
Well, you know. And like...
You.
I love the lifestyle. I love the luxury. I love the luxury.
I know. Well, I'm really appreciative that you came on today and interviewed me. It's been really fun. Cheers to that.
Oh, cheers, Annaliese.
Love you so much, babe.
Do you know what? Like, I didn't write any of my questions.
Yes.
It was literally like what I wanted to ask you. Mm-hmm. And I know you so well, but I feel like now I know you like
even more.
It's like, watch out! I am like so in love with you.
Every guy, look out! Andre, look out! She's coming for me.
Do you know? There's that thing in their like romantic relationships, but like that friendship relationship
A deeper.
Oh, I tell you, girl, if you ever fuck me over, I will be so upset.
You'll come for me. Okay, guys.
Anyway, so thank you, Annaliese. I've had a wonderful time, and you have been a wonderful guest on my show / your show. Sorry.
We've had a lot of Prosecco. Okay, love you guys. Thanks for listening this week to the Seriously Podcast, and we'll catch you another time for another guest.
I bloody love you.
I love you too. Bye.